Hi, welcome to the next session. We'll see the next topic in the syllabus and try to revise according to the textbook. I'm revising the textbook because when you read, that will be easy and every word you can understand very well. And that will help you regarding the basic understanding of the textbook, and then it will help you to understand the other materials which were given as references. Okay, let's start. So, coming to the that is today's topic, popular notions about the discipline of psychology. Earlier, we have seen uh, like a few topics such as understanding mind and behavior, psychology as a natural science, and as psychology as a social science. So then today we will see popular notions about the discipline of psychology. Okay, what are the what do you mean by that particular definition? As even we have seen the earlier topic psychology as a discipline. Like what are the uh, like conclusions or the what are the some assumptions of common public regarding psychology as a discipline? We mentioned above, so let's see what is in the material. We mentioned above that every day, almost everyone of us acts like a psychologist, isn't it? It's correct, right? Every day we try to understand the behavior of human beings. We understand the others' actions and react accordingly. Without that, there is no like the world will not move forward. As a as we are dealing with the social cultural aspects, we need to understand the environment or the geographical conditions where we are residing or where we uh, are in particular place. With that only the communication and the life is possible. Okay, so then let's see. Almost everyone of has said, and then let me take the alert. See if you can we try to understand, if we try to understand why someone behaved in that manner in which he did, and come up with ready explanations. Not only like as I said, if we understand the behavior of the other person only, we can understand, we can react and we can respond. If someone is angry, we may try to cool them, we may try to react for that, right? So in the same way, here we try to understand that person and then we react. Without that, the communication may not happen. And even like after understanding only we can respond, that is the ready explanations. Okay, not only this, most of us have developed our own theory of human behavior. Yes, by our childhood, like every person is unique, and due to the circumstances around the public or the person, we will have our own opinions. Like say, that person is really good. Maybe that person is very like bad to the other person, but for you he is connected, but for some other people it may not connect. So everyone has his own theory of behavior. If we want some worker to perform better than she or he has in the past, we know that we will need to push him or him. Like if you can see, like in a company or at a working place, like in even in a school settings, if a student is not performing well, We try to understand him, what are the reasons behind his performance, like a low performance, and then we'll uh, try to help him or push him, like what is the reason behind uh, the less performance. Maybe even use a stick. Of course it is not a good line. Maybe I'm not going with this example. Like we will push forward, like motivating. There are different types of methods, right? Like you can talk to him privately. You can ask him what are the factors which is affecting his performance, his or her performance, and then go forward. Such popular theories of human behaviors are based on common sense, may or may not be true if investigated scientifically. Yes, popular notions are, it is like misconceptions. What as it stated, like every person has his own understanding. Like whether it is true, is it common for every other person? Like as you are thinking, the whether the other person thinks in the same way. Let us see some misconceptions or some things or some common assumptions which are studied in a scientific way. As we are discussing psychology as a science, we'll try to understand in a scientific way what are the experiments done in uh, like proving like it is like deciding a hypothesis for the common sensual conceptions. So, in fact, you will find that common sensual explanations of human behavior are based on hindsight and explain very little. Hindsight and explain very little. For example, like even that one, like normal understanding, your understanding may not be as equal to the psychological understanding. You may not think such scientifically as you are understanding the behavior of other person. You may have general understanding, but it may not be true. That is what he is saying. Here it is. For example, if a friend you love goes away to the distant place, what will happen to your attraction for him or her? Like if you can say, it may be friend, or you went to a hostel for some time being, you are away with the from the family. Then what will happen? There are two sayings which you may recall to answer the question. Like there may be two conditions. Then what are them? One of them is out of sight, out of mind. Like if it is a friend, when you are away and not staying in touch, there is no point of remembering. Like you may be occupying with the new type of friends. The second one is distance makes heart grow fonder. Both of them make opposite statements. Like as I said, some people will move on, and the other way is that particular person may be fall sick, or like without the communication, he is very much takes to the heart. So both the statements are opposite, right? One moving forward with the normal life, one is stuck there. So which one is true? Let's see. The explanation you choose will depend on what happens in your life after the friend leaves. Yes, it is the condition. Okay, what happens in the life if you have got the better person, and the environment is proactive, which is making you more active than the previous life, you will move forward. But if the environment is dull and if you do not have any uh, persons to communicate, then you will be stuck, right? That's what. Suppose you are able to find a new friend, the saying is out of sight, out of mind will be used by you or others to explain your behavior. Like if you move on, the first statement is true. That's what he said. If you are unable to find a new friend, as I said, you will keep remembering your friend fondly. In, that's what. If you do not find any other communication, you will try to uh, like stuck there. It is really very hard to move on. Distance make heart grow and will explain your behavior, and like Yes, the second statement applies to this condition. Notice that in both cases, the explanation follows the occurrences of behavior. It is the behavior. That's what we have to understand here. What is the first condition behavior and what is the second condition behavior? Both are really different. They are opposite, but it depends on what happens in the next part or next stage. Notice that in both cases, the explanation follows. Yeah, common sense is based on hindsight, and it is like it is just a one side of the coin. Common sense is particularly it is unique to the one single person. It may be unique to you, but it changed to the other person. Psychology as a science looks for patterns of behavior which can be predicted and not explained after the behavior occurs. Psychology as tries to understand the conditions and tries to if we consider the second condition, you are stuck, right? Psychology tries to understand that one and will try to help you to move forward. And if you are really ignoring the friend, then psychologist tries to connect you and stay how it can be stay connected for a good and happier relationships. Like psychologist tries to understand the behavior, but it is not the hindsight and it is a not conclusive based one. Scientific knowledge generated by psychology often runs against common sense. So general, even if we can see the physics or chemistry, it is not the common sense. Common sense may be relate to the general understanding, but the scientific understanding really the facts uh, unearthed unearthed by the experiment can be very surprising. They may be opposite to the common sense. One such example is a study performed by Dweck. She was considered with children who gave up too easily when forced with a difficult problem or failure. So as we are discussing the misconceptions or the notion, general notions about psychology, we'll try to understand through an example. Here, there is also another scientist like Dweck in 1975. She conducted an experiment with a group of students performing an activity or like how different it is like facing different difficult problems or some failures. She wondered how they could be helped. Common sense tells us that to give them easy problems in order to increase their success rate so that their confidence goes up. Yes, one way you tell them she's a first give some easy solutions, then you can go beyond, go step by step to make him or her understand the difficulty and to get success, make him a positive impact. Only later should we give them difficult problems. Yes, that's what we discussed. And then let's see. Like confidence, as I said, as it is explained, Beck study tested this. She took two group of students who were trained for 25 days in solving math problems. Yes, it is like even you have to remember here how the experiment is done, and then in this study they have divided two groups of students who were trained for 25 days. There are few students divided as two groups and they were given training. The first group was given easy problems which they were always able to solve. Like in the first group, after training, the first group is given some easy problems and they're always easy to solve. The second group has a mix of easy and difficult problems. Obviously, in case of difficult problems, they fail. In this experiment, what the second group, what Dweck has given is like it is a mixed type of problems. It is like it is a mixture of easy and difficult problems. Then, of course, as the first group is performing really well, this group also performs at the easy problems, but the difficulty problem they fail. Whenever this happened, Dweck told them that the failure was because they had not tried hard enough and persuaded them to give up and keep trying. is in the first case there is no encouragement because they are always successful. Next time, when they are stuck at difficult problems and getting failed, Dweck encouraged to try again and again. After the training period was over, now a new set of math problems, and this was how the training took place in the 25 days. And next, the real test has come up. After the training period, a new set of problems, they took the new problems and given to these students. What Dweck was found goes against the common belief. What happened generally, these uh, uh, the experience of student group with easy problems has to perform really well. But let's see. After the training period over, it is done. Those who had always succeeded because they were given easy problem gave up much faster when they faced failure than those who had experience of both success and failure and were taught to attribute failure to their lack of effort. Here we have to also understand that how they are giving up. If you go to the earlier minutes, we have seen that Dweck examined who are giving up so easily. When the second group is trying to accept that it is their failure and they have to try again, it was there when the new set of problems has come up, the easiest group has not tried well, but the second group tried to solve the problem, and even they are not disappointed much. There are many other common sense notions which you may not find it to be true. There may be. This is one type of examples. You can try to get as many as examples, like one or two examples in this way, and try to understand how the common sense may be untrue, and the scientific study may give you some surprising results. Not too long ago, it was believed that some cultures that men are more intelligent than women and women cause more accidents than men. So there is another misconception. There is also another notion that men are too intelligent and women commit mistakes and like accidents. Like it is a common sense, but let's see. Empirical studies have shown that both of these natures are untrue. Like it depends on the environmental conditions. So far we have discussing these things, right? In this condition also, it is not regular, that it is not gender based, it is the environmental based. Common sense also tells that one is not able to give one's best if you are asked to perform before large audience. There is also another notion that you may not perform well if there is a large hall and audience before you. You may get tense, but it is not true for some people. Some people are really energized and they feel so good to perform before the audience. They get a great push. Psychological studies have shown that if you have practiced well, you may actually perform better because the presence of others help your performance. The studies showed that if you practice really well, it is like encouraging, like playing cricket. If you practice in the nets really well, when there is a large part of audience, you will get encouragement that you are getting good shots. And even during the football game, the popular sports, there where the audience gives the most like energy to perform well, but the practice is really important. It is hoped that as you go through this textbook, you will discover that many of your beliefs and understanding human behavior will change. Like it is like common sense. As common sense, as I said, it will take some like our common understanding may not be true. Even you will be surprised to see upcoming examples in the chat in the chapters coming forward. Even you may try to apply common sense, but if you scientifically see them, it may not be true, right? Okay. You will also gather psychologists at different or yes. Here I do not want to take this example because Indian universities offer astrology. Also, it is like an art science. So I'm not encouraging this example. Like as earlier I referred to some example like beating with a stick. No, because it is contradicting with current times. So I'm not taking this example. And then, so that's all. And even, yeah, the important example here, like systematically examine propositions and study data based on the data to develop principles about human behavior and psychological phenomena. Even as an experimental study, as a study of science, we have to understand that uh, it should be systematically studied, it should be properly examined, and the principles developed should be replicable, reliable. Okay, so that ends the popular notions. We have seen three examples. Hope you understand that one. And here is an activity which you may have uh, discussed earlier, like I explained it. Ask a cross question of students. Yes, this is a group activity, but you can perform it as individual. What the think of psychology is? What do you think of psychology? Try to give some common sensual answers and try to get some scientific, examine the studies. Like you may search internet and see whether your notions are true to your understanding, and see and even what conclusions you draw, whether the notion is true or the scientific study is true. Okay, it is like a discussion. You may try to get some one or two examples on your own and try to understand this one. Okay, so that's how I end this session. We'll see the next chapters in the coming sessions. Okay, so if you have any difficulty, let me know. Please mail to the respective mail ID and even my mail ID, party.sairam@gmail.com, and looking forward for your performance and participation in the next sessions.